All right, let's make Eakins palette. All right, we need white, cadmium yellow, which I have on the palette, cadmium orange, vermilion I have on the palette, light red, which I'm assuming is like a maybe a transparent red oxide, maybe. Rose, which I have permanent rose, I have that on the palette. I have burnt sienna on the palette. Oh, maybe light red is different. Permanent blue. What's permanent blue? I don't know what that is. Vandyke Brown and black. I need to see if I have any Vandyke or Cad Orange, and I need to look up the other ones. All right, hold on. All right, that's Vandyke Brown. That's Winsor Red. Cad Orange. That's Cad Deep. Transparent Red. Terra Rosa, maybe. Burnt Sienna. What's up? Let's see. Naples Yellow. Lead White. What's that one? Mars Violet. Lamp Black. Vermilion. Okay, so I looked on the website, the pigment website, and there's an English light red, which is probably what he was using, which comes up as a PB 101 or PR 101. There's a ton of different varieties of it, but this is a Terra Rosa, so I might use that. It'll be a little bit different than a burnt sienna. I stopped by the art supply store, and Terra Rosa and light red are very similar. And then the permanent blue that he's using is a PB15. So there's a lot of different varieties of that as well. Sometimes it's more phthalo. This one is Winsor blue. This is green shade. There's also a red shade. So I might go green shade, but it's also a PB15. So I've been having a lot of fun playing with palettes, and I've been thinking a lot about color, but then also value. So I did Rembrandt's palette, I did my landscape palette, I did another one that I'm calling my utilitarian palette, and I thought just for funsies, let's do Eakins palette. So this is Stonehenge paper, maybe, gessoed with a gray acrylic gesso. So I've just been having fun sort of seeing how different artists mix palettes. This is really useful when I teach. I also do some work for Winsor Newton, and it's also potentially useful for work I do for them. And just sort of thinking about colors you want to buy together. Like, there's so many varieties of color. I think Winsor Newton has like 130, 140 different types of oil paint. Like, how do you choose? So these are fun just because they show people how colors work together, so you can kind of think about like how you would choose your palette. All right, palette. This is my tin of clean brushes. This is my jar of brushes that will need to get washed at the end of the week. I clean them with oil during the week, and then on Fridays I wash. All right, so the book says white. I'm going to use a lead white because I feel like that would be fitting with the time frame, since Eakins was painting from 1844 to 1916. Cadmium yellow, which is this one. Cadmium orange, which is this one. Vermilion, I had two vermilions, and one is like really orange and one is really red. I don't know. I'm tempted to go with the more red one. But that just shows you like how different each paint company can be. Light red, which I'm going with that Terra Rosa, right? Rose, permanent rose, which is this one here. Burnt sienna, which is there. Permanent blue, I'm going to go with this one. This is the one that leans green. Brown, where did I put the Vandyke Brown? Vandyke Brown, right there, right in front of me. Vandyke Brown. And blank, I'm going to go with the lamp black there. All right, so from Al Gurry's book, Color for Painters. I know this palette is bonkers right now. I think I'm going to go insane. All right, so we're going to start, let's start with some Vandyke. We're going to put that there. Sienna, which is this one. I'm using odorless mineral spirits, or I have a jar of that over here. All right, now the light red. Permanent rose. Oh, you know, that's right. That's, see, now I'm getting confused. This is dangerous. Permanent rose. The darker of the Vermilions. Because I think it's just the Cadmium Orange and the orangier Vermilion is just too close. I'm going to go Cad Orange. Cad Yellow. Cad Yellow. Oh, and then I got in my blue. And my blue. Put on my blue. Black. Oops. Black. All right, that is a pretty interesting palette. I've never really used Vandyke Brown. Let's go. That's a really cold. That is a cold brown. All right. A little more white. I'm trying to do like three, like a medium and a light. Yeah, light could be lighter. The best way to support an artist is to subscribe, like, and share, and comment. Oops. That's a pretty color. I like that color so much. Mid-tone. Oh, that's a nice color. Oof. That would be an excellent fleshy color. I can totally see that with some of his, like his swimmers and really. Oh my god, that pink is like, that is just a fabulous rose color. Lead white. It's an interesting. Takes a long time to dry though. I mean, it really takes a long time to dry. A lot of places don't make Vermilion anymore. It's like really, it's like incredibly toxic. So this might be a synthetic version. I'll have to read the tube. I'm not sure. I think it's made from, not anthrax. I don't know, it's made from some sort of poison or something that would be poisonous. That has got some nice, that is really pretty. It's also really potent. I'm just adding a lot of white to get this lightened up. And then my yellow. Yellow, here we go. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna add a little more for my darker color there. Got a little washed out. Okay, and blue. This is the green leaning Winsor blue, which the website, I'm looking at I think it's called like Old Masters. There's also a conservation website that I'll look at. Both of them on I have a resources page on my website. And it's linked there. Extremely useful database for color and information. It is a glorious blue, isn't it? I've been using phthalo on my palette for landscape, and I'm tempted to switch over to this Winsor blue green shade. And then black. Not a big fan of a tube black, but maybe I'll learn to like it. Ooh, let's do a yellow and black. So we've got the Cad Yellow. We're going to mix a little bit of lamp black in there and check out that green. Add a little more. That is a... And then as we add more yellow, it will lighten. And then we'll add a little white. That's a pretty spectacular. I'm gonna make a darker, slightly darker version again. I'm gonna have to put out more. I'm gonna put out more Cad Yellow. Oh, that needs to be. Take some of this. Do the same, so we can make a slightly even lighter. Phthalo. Phthalo. Yellow. Alright, and then let's lighten it with a little more. I'm lightening it with the lighter color before I add white, just to see. Alright, and then we're going to add a little white. That's not light enough. Let's wait. More yellow. This is the thing, you can just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Doesn't always, you don't always have to lighten with white. You can always lighten with other colors. What kind of green we can make using the orange? Ooh, that's fancy. Let's add orange. Orange. Now at this point I would add yellow to continue lightening it. And now I'm going to go back and add a little more orange. Ooh, that's really interesting. And now I'm going to add some white. Huh. That gets us close to the Vandyke, but it's warmer. Let's mix a purple. So we know that this permanent rose is going to make a scrumptious purple. We're going to mix that with the Winsor blue, or in Eakins' case, the permanent blue. Got a nice deep purple there. We're going to lighten with red. Does that make it lighter? A little bit. All right, now for the white. That's lovely. All right. Let's see what that does. All right, Vermilion. I don't know what this is going to end up looking like. That Vermilion is... All right, got a real dark there. That's... See, I would use that over the lamp black. That would be my preference. I'm going to go with a little more red and lighten that way first. I'm going to steal some of this blue from over here because that has white, and it'll even out my blues. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I mean, this is a really sort of a very muted... That's kind of pretty. Make that even lighter. Lighter too. See what happens. Okay. Very bright purple. That, I don't know what we're doing there. Sort of purple. Ooh, let's see what kind of orange that makes. All right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, this is the... I need to dig out more Cad Yellow. Oh, I didn't do my markers to show you, indicate what's in there. I need to do that. So this is all just sort of mixing, you know, two to three colors together. But I mean, you could mix all kinds of colors together. Let me get more Cad Yellow. I was going to do, I keep calling it Indian Red, but it's not. It's Terra Rosa, but there is also an Indian Red, which is very similar to this. All right. This is going to be weird. I don't know about, maybe it'll be good weird. Hopefully it'll be good weird. I think all colors are going to be good weird. All right. Good weird. I mean, would you call that purple? I don't know. I don't know if we're calling that purple. That looks gray to me. This is really where you get, like, so these two colors together sort of neutralize each other. I mean, they really just go gray. Total neutralization. I had mixed no liquid into this. This is going to take forever to dry. I feel like the vermilion on its own kind of makes an orange. Let's do a little vermilion with a little bit of yellow. Oh, so that's really a deeper, that's an interesting orange. Okay. So this, all right, we'll add a little more yellow. And now let's add some white. I mean, that's really close to the cadmium orange. All right, let's do some harmony. What should I choose for my harmonizer? Let's choose, I'm going to use this for my color harmony. Color harmony is when you mix each of these individual colors with one color that kind of unifies it. So for this case, I'm going to use a pink. So I'm going to mix a little bit more of that pink. I don't want it to be too light. All right, so that's my vermilion pink. All right, so let's go with Vandyke and that color. So it's a lot of the main pigment and then just a little bit. So I'm just going to go in a row across the bottom so you can see it in comparison to the top. Next up is the Sienna. That's the Sienna. I'm going to have to mix more of that. That is the, I keep saying Indian. It's not, it's the light red. I'll call it what Eakins called it, light red. Right, that works. The rose is very transparent, so this makes it more opaque. Oh, the vermilion mixed with the, I'm not going to bother because it's already, we know what that looks like. Orange. What am I doing? Mixed with this. And then hopefully you can see that. I'm going to move it. I don't think that part of the thing was in the screen. There's the yellow. And then let's do the black mixed with a little bit of that. What is that going to look like? Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, right. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, I'll turn this around. All right, Vandyke Brown, burnt sienna, light red. In this case, we use the Terra Rosa. Permanent rose, vermilion, cadmium orange, cadmium yellow. This was Winsor blue, but in Eakins' palette, it's the same as permanent blue. This is the green leaning shade, and this is lamp black. His palette just said black, so I went with lamp. And then I used a lead white for everything. So here it is, pure pigment mixed with white these are mixes of green, so using black and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and orange. Here are some purples, mixing blue, permanent rose, blue, vermilion, blue, and the light red. An orange with the light red and the yellow, and an orange with the vermilion and yellow. And then this is a harmony using basically this pink as my harmony color. So each one of them going across, skipping vermilion because we know what that looks like. Check out the palette in color and in black and white to see the values. Please subscribe and like.